Welcome back to Kits and Bits Gaming. I'm Rachel.
I'm Michaela.
And we're God of War.
In
God of Warring?
God of Warring.
That's fair. That's accurate. That's not inaccurate, but we're off to... We're off. We're off this direction.
To Jotunheim.
Hopefully.
About damn time.
I can't believe we're gonna see the giants.
Well,
Same.
according to the plan.
Look, Mir, I need you to stop your...
Walk in Jotunheim and we'll be on our way.
Yeah,
We spent this entire game trying to get get to Jotunheim. Wow, I really spazzed out there. Getting out to Jotunheim.
Well, our entire game has, like, been focused on not necessarily getting to Jotunheim, but, like, getting to, like, the tallest peak in the realm, which at first we thought was in Midgard, and then we realized when we met Mimir was Jotunheim.
That is true.
Boy,
Ahead.
Get ready.
Oh, right. Got him.
Yeah, we need the head
This
here.
doesn't cause you to explode or anything.
Hey, thumbnail, round 2. Thinking about it?
Nah,
You know?
I'm sure you'll be fine. Ready?
Sometimes when you think about... Oh, there he is. Oh, that's unpleasant. You know what, Mimir? I bet it isn't. Mimir, how you doing, bud?
You okay, Mimir?
You okay, bud? Hasn't said anything. Oh, no.
Nothing.
He's
Not
alive.
worse.
He's alive. He's good. He's good.
Well, what are we waiting for? You think it's far?
No, probably not. We'll find out when we get to Jotunheim.
Steps, though.
Oh, God. Steps.
A word, please, before we continue.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
I'm glad to see you're alive.
I'm
Listen,
glad
the
you're
last
well.
thing you two need up there's a decomposing heat ruin in the moment. But I'll
Mm-hmm.
wait for you here. This is between you and the boy.
True. But if someone were to fight,
My lady sips soft, perfect sloshers.
Oh, sweet
You
Jesus.
done did it.
Sorry, we had to see this.
Sindiri.
Oh.
Oh, I love them.
Oh no, 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 no. Fine, damn it, fine.
Oh, Mimir.
until we return.
Oh, poor Mimir. I'm gonna be fully honest. If I twas Mimir, I would have thrown up by now.
Okay.
I have a fear of vomiting. Like, I have been diagnosed
Ready.
But he
with
doesn't have a gut.
the phobia of vomiting. Okay, even if I was a head, I would still, like, be like, bleh, alright? Like, then I would be having a panic attack. Okay, it would just simply go, bleh,
Just
and
be
then
a
me
head.
going, ladies and gentlemen, that's called enemophobia. You're welcome. And then I would simply black out, and then
Yeah.
that would be it.
Yep. Hey, can your head do anything? Oh no, she passed out again.
No, she fucking's gone. What happened to your head? I don't, bitch.
Just-
I don't fucking
Let's
know.
not talk about it.
Let's not
alright?
talk about it. She has an issue, and it's vomit. Sweet juice. I can look. I can deal with a lot of shit. I work in healthcare. I've seen a lot.
Yeah,
Vomit. That's
you've
it. I'm
seen
out.
literal shit.
Yeah. The grossest thing I think I've ever seen in my entire healthcare career. Can I tell everybody? I'm gonna tell everybody, regardless. TMI. Fast forward if you don't want to know. Okay. I worked in a nursing home for a clinical, okay, because it's required. And inpatient is required at some point. I literally watched a lady be so fucking constipated that my CI had to put on a pair of gloves and help wiggle a shit out of somebody's body.
That's
A
pretty-
literal fucking
Yeah.
shit. That's the most disgusting thing
Yeah, my
that I've
sister.
ever seen in my entire... He literally just wiggled a shit out of a 90-year-old's body. I'm like, that's it. That's officially the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Am I supposed to be doing something? I am. No one's
You're
letting me
just
do
supposed to
it.
walking
God
forward.
damn it. All right.
We're on the giant's fingers.
That's fine.
I I can see the highest peak ahead.
Oh yeah, your sister's in healthcare. She's seen some
Yeah.
gross shit. She's
Yeah,
a nurse.
she's-
She's seen even grosser shit than I've seen.
She's told me a couple stories about an instance where,
She's had to wiggle a shit out of somebody's body.
yeah, where attendants
That's
have
real.
had to assist in the bowel movement
Rim job.
process.
You take your finger.
Yep.
And then you stimulate the outside of the
Yep.
sphincter.
Yep. Yeah, she's told me a couple stories. She's also told me a couple stories where the sphincter is working just fine. In fact, maybe too fine, and she's trying to
Help
What are
them.
you doing?
catch the
Shit.
trail.
Yeah, of shit. Yep, I've also been there for that too. Can deal with shit all day long. Can deal with like open wounds and disgusting things like that. Vomit, however, Audi 5000. Look at this beautiful moment, and I'm talking about vomit. It's fine.
Can we go now?
Oh my god, it's fine. Vomit. Can this episode just be named Rachel Talks About Vomit? It's not gonna be, but like I kind of hope I like log into the YouTubes later this week when I edit and upload my video, and it's gonna be like not titled Rachel Talks About Vomit. All right, this should be something heartfelt,
It should.
and I'm talking about vomit. Look at him, he has her ashes, and I'm like over here like vomit's gross. Who let me be a person?
Oh, that was a very tender moment.
It was when I talked about vomit the entire time. Why did you let me keep going?
It's nothing.
If that's not the epitome of our like 20-some year friendship, I don't know what is. Also, I don't know if Michaela and I have ever said this on our Kits and Bits gaming channel, on our channel.
Chanel.
Our Chanel. But Michaela and I have been friends for like something like 25 years, 26 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's ridiculous how long Michaela and I have been
Yeah.
the best of friendos. Okay? Like, literally have never had somebody so close my entire life. Michaela is a sister
Ruining everything
to me.
Yeah.
Just like I am a sister to Michaela at this point. But like, you know what? We've been friends for 20-some years, so we talk about shit like this, and like, no one stops us.
We're not completely
Fuck.
ignorant to the sentiment. We're just distracted by our own bullshit. Then we come back and it's like, oh, but also.
And you know what? That's why you're fucking here. You know what? You're here to watch this garbage. That's why you're here.
Okay, can you turn back around though? Because
For sure.
burlap. What are we looking at?
I don't know.
The lore he was looking at. Look to your left.
That unsure. Literally looks like X on a wall. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, it looks like a wall,
What
but
are they now?
all right.
The giants came back home so they could survive. But I'm not sure they did.
No, we're in Jotunheim, which is the land of the giants, and no one's here. It's just us.
No one's home.
However, I
But I
Jeez.
don't.
should.
The chance got really close in the
What
headphone.
happened to them?
He did, but he is all the way the fuck over there still. I don't know why. Oh, son of a bitch. However, we'll say we are about to find out some sentimental shit.
Yeah.
I'm still talking about some vomit.
Wait! Father! Something's happening.
I'm more talking about how, like, Michaela and I have been best friends for almost, like, our entire lives. I have one friend that has been friends with me longer than you have. And, like, we were friends, like, when I was 1 and she was 2.
Yeah, the
It's your axe.
Lydia.
yeah.
My friend Lydia.
It's smaller.
Quite literally, we have been friends. I am 28 years old, so we've been
She's
friends
living with a
for
bunch of giants.
28 years. Yeah. That,
She-
yeah, I have a friend that I've been friends with for 28 years. That is insanity to say out loud. Because we have the same exact birthday, we're just 1 year apart.
The first time we met the world's
Yeah. No, it's
She did a reading at my wedding. It was beautiful. I
it
love
was
her.
very
She was so sweet.
She's
I
so
love
funny.
her with all my heart.
She needs to be
Just
closer
happened.
so that we can.
I wish she didn't live so far. I know. I want to go hang out with her more.
It's like I like you.
You
I
want to
do
go
like
visit her?
you.
We can make that happen.
Okay, I'd be okay with that. 'Cause it's cool. And
Wings
it's like I
visibility.
like her. I like to.
Who doesn't like her? She's like beautiful. I need to find her a man.
This is our story.
I'll
She's
stay out of that one.
Hot. She's
She is very
smart.
sexy.
She's hot
whole
as
story.
she's hot fire.
Yeah.
Like she's a hot chick girl. Need to find her a hot man.
Yeah.
That I
Who's
was
also
not the only
nerdy.
parent
Like
of
need to find a
secrets.
hot nerdy man.
Yes.
If you're a hot nerdy man, comment down below. Live in the Midwest somewhere nearby, okay? Not gonna say where we live. We are in Wisconsin, but somewhere in
Yeah.
Wisconsin, Illinois area. If you comment on this specific video.
Hit
If
us
she's-
up. Where can I connect you?
However, if you comment and she has found somebody by the time you comment, we'll let you know. We'll
Yeah,
not leave you on edge. I'm
She
not that
sent
mean.
us
I'm not an
knowing
asshole
we
here.
would
Well,
find this.
kind of an asshole.
But
Not a
Anna just
complete
tells
asshole.
the truth.
Your mother would have had good reasons.
Oh yeah, this
Father
is like
was never
heartfelt.
sent to find me. He was tracking her all along.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing
Correct.
she was only ashes.
If she had a plan for us, I trust it. Whatever
Yeah.
it is. Besides, she hasn't been wrong yet.
No, she has not.
Come on. We're so close to the end now.
Here we go.
Yeah, but this is the really sad part.
Yes, we are.
There it is. We really are at endgame. This is gonna be a pretty short episode.
Mhm.
We shit talked that entirety of that.
It's Mother's. She was here.
She
She
was.
saw every step we took before we took it. Like she was always with us.
Well, technically,
Watching
she's
over
been
us.
with you.
This entire
Leading
time.
us home.
Yeah. She's
Let's
on your
finish
hip,
Quite literally.
actually.
Attached to you in a pile of
Yeah.
ashes. It's not the point though. Because you want to know why that's not the point? Because I'm a fucking asshole, but that's still not the point. However, we talked over the bombshell that, like, Atreus is Loki.
Yeah, we've talked over that aspect.
That's fine. We talked over it because of my hot friend Lydia. She's hot.
She is.
Let's be real here. She's hot.
I forgot about the hand.
What hand? Whose hand? Her hand? Oh yeah, that hand. The big giant hand. The
Yeah.
the giant hands in all of the distance because they're all fucking dead.
Oh.
Because Atreus is the last living technical giant.
No, we do it together,
Mm-hmm.
son.
How much they've grown.
Mm.
I know we've shit talked. But Atreus has grown into, like, an actual character.
Mm-hmm.
And Kratos has grown out of his spiteful bullshit ways into an actual father that he has been meant to be this entire time. And it's absolutely adorable and sweet. So, the big bombshell twist, I know we talked over it because of my hot friend Lydia. However, the big bombshell twist is that Atreus is actually Loki,
Yep. The bringer of
the bringer of chaos, the god of chaos. Which, like, is so accurate to Atreus's even character as a child, because, like, look at him, look at the hand. But also, like, look at him, like, the, like, mood swings, the, like, ridiculousness. I know the point of that finger. Like, look at it go.
Goodbye.
Goodbye,
I love
Faye.
you, Mom.
Look at them. Look at that thumbnail.
I know. I'm like thumbnail.
It's-
Thumbnail.
I had to say it out loud. I'm so
It's
sorry.
here.
It's kind of a ghost town.
Come.
Well, I mean, everybody's dead in
Yeah.
Jotunheim. All the
I mean,
giants are
they're
gone.
Legit dead. And
They're all dead and
making
gone.
up the mountainside.
So, I get that Mother was a giant. Which makes me part giant and part god.
Which makes you
And part
essentially
mortal.
just a god. And part mortal. Yes, yes.
I guess there's just one thing I don't understand.
What's that? Child?
My name on the wall. The giants called me
There it is.
Loki?
Loki. Yes. The god of chaos.
Loki. That's the name your mother wanted for you when you were born. She must have called you that to her people.
But why?
Not sure, child.
A question for another day. Let us go home.
This makes me sad because, like, I'm very well aware that this next game of God of War, which is what we're leading into with this series here, means that we are gonna lose Kratos. And again, I have said since the beginning of this playthrough, to now the end of this, is that I fucking love God of War, and I goddamn love
Why she wanna end up
Kratos and his journey and like everything about him.
Gonna be like this here?
To see
Is this what
him
she wanted us to
go
see?
from this being that you get to watch, like have this beautiful character development,
I
into now
do not know.
death,
So what should
is
we do?
so
I
sad
trust you to
and like
decide
so
that.
beautiful.
Oh,
But like, since I'm playing literally through the credits, Michaela, what do you feel about the game?
Oh no, this is a fantastic game.
I know it
I
can't be for
don't.
God.
I think you hit the nail on the head. And this is my first.
He was a soldier.
This was my first entry into the God of
The Great
War.
Warrior?
Like I knew
All
all the
Spartans are
series
great
for being chaotic,
We
like
trained from
basically
birth. Our lives were
a
disciplined,
mash and
duty,
smash.
battle,
And Mike and I were
death.
actually going over
Life was
like
grim,
what
and
got
we
us
proved
interested
it
in this. We
when
watched like I think we were watching Jackson's
But Atreus of Sparta
first
was
video.
unlike the rest
And we
of us.
stopped
Of
at 10
Ragnarok?
minutes. No, of this game, God of
Oh,
War.
yeah.
We stopped like 5 minutes in, like, no, we need to play this and
He
experience it for
inspired us
yourself.
to hope.
And that's exactly what it is,
Though
an
we were
experience.
machines
I haven't
of
played
war,
this game since then, just
yet
because
there
it
was
had
humanity in us.
I had such an emotional reaction to it.
When
And
the
the
day
story
came
is
for him to lay down his life in battle,
fantastic.
This game is beautiful.
Yeah.
I saved
This
countless
game is
others
absolutely
who
everything you
died
could
in
ever
our favor.
imagine. And like,
I carried him
I
to
played this game in 2018 when it came out. I actually have not played this game since now, playing it for Kits and Bits.
his memory.
And I'm so glad I actually had the opportunity to replay it because
You actually told a good story.
it actually is a beautiful story. It really is a beautiful story for so many reasons. It's such a beautiful story between father and son, and such a beautiful story of Norse mythology in general.
Yeah.
It gives life to Loki, and it gives life to the start there, and it gives life to like some of these characters and like some of these things that are not in modern media. Right. Like we know about Loki because everybody loves Tom Hiddleston, but like
I mean, yeah.
obviously, I mean he's fucking hot as sin.
He's charming.
I
he's
mean, have
British.
you seen him? Okay, that's it. Anyway, but like,
You wanna go home?
you know, it just
Valkyries out there.
it's insane because it's like people forget about the origins of stories and the origins of these myth and legends.
I don't know if you would Atreus be said, but hey, there's still some corrupted Valkyries
What would
to
Loki do?
help out.
Fuck off.
That's a weird name.
Okay, that's how I feel about that. I think I set a precedent for that one video, and I said it would hit a certain like point and a certain point, and then I would revisit the Valkyries. Okay, at that point.
Just leave the head.
Glad to see you. I believe I've reached my limit for dwarven charm.
Oh yeah, that's right. They just abandoned
They
the
took
head.
an uncomfortable number of measurements and then proceeded to bicker about the weather.
What do you want us
That's
to do?
fucking hilarious.
How about the warm confines of anywhere bloody else?
And you're now attached to my hip bone.
Yep.
All right, let's go back to Midgard. Continue exploring. Nice.
Oh.
Complete dwarven favors, free dragons, travel to Niflheim, and find new items in the shop to get powerful equipment. That's really super nice. Cool beans, all the
I forgot
Valkyries.
they even revealed the Valkyries
I-
to you in case you want to hate your life. And
I don't hate my life, okay? Don't. I don't.
I don't.
Don't. We're gonna re-travel to, I think I'm just gonna go back.
Go back to Midgard.
I'm gonna go back to Midgard, and then I'm gonna head home. Because that's where I'm gonna get the rest of this, story to continue.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
I have to head all the way home.
Yeah.
Yep, I have to head all the way the fuck home.
right.
You smooth boulder, it's become something else.
Yeah. Mimir's telling me something to go, like, check on something and
Yeah.
to do other things. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Winter to span 3 summers.
I'm gonna, yeah, so he's essentially warning us of Ragnarok right
Yeah.
now?
Ragnarok.
Yep,
Snow.
there it is.
Aye.
So, Mimir,
Lots more snow. And then the end of the bloody world. In that approximate order.
Yep.
Another prophecy.
No, brother. Prophecy doesn't expect this for 100 more winters at least. You've changed something. Prophecy didn't count on you.
the prophecy didn't count on me. Yeah, that's accurate.
It's Fimbulwinter. I can feel it in my scrotum.
So, unfortunately for me, oh, god damn it. I have to literally travel all the way back. I can't cheat my way.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, god damn it. Do I have to talk to them?
Just discussing the weather.
Son of a bitch.
Cold snap lately.
What he means is Fimbulwinter's upon us,
Okay.
boys. The winter to end all winters. I can feel it in my scrotum.
There it is. So they're talking about,
So if you're heading home, try to keep moving, and also to not die.
Oh, thank
Or
you,
if you're
Sindri.
not heading home,
Thanks, Sindri.
helpful.
same advice.
Can I act?
Oh,
I-
it activated after you walked away.
God damn it. I know I activated the stuff. God, hello, sir.
Sir!
Sir! But essentially, so this is an absolute beautiful story of, like, life and,
Home.
where is home?
Stop.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Is it? Why can't I go there?
No, can you go, can you just click up with your directional pad?
Probably.
There you go.
We're gonna go there. I'm gonna cheat my way there, because I could walk. Don't want to. Why walk when I have a child?
The tower ate the Unity Stone, didn't it? I wanted to fly again.
Yes, that's a terrible pity.
It's a terrible pity. God damn it, Mir.
How Odin knew we were going to Jotunheim before we did.
Odin is extremely clever, you see.
Yeah.
No, he
Nearly as clever as he
sacrificed
thinks he
an eye to see
is.
the future.
And he's a
not
collector
clever.
of prophecies. If it's about the future,
Odin's an
he adds
asshole.
it.
Very similar to Zeus. Look, Odin and Zeus are pretty much on the same parallel
Yeah,
plane.
yeah.
Of course, the idea
Just
He's a
a
fucking
grumpy
cocksucker.
old bastard who had too many kids or had kids and
He controlled
unhappy.
every realm of every
The one thing
And
I
just
will
wanna lose his power.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one thing I will say about Odin is Odin like never gave a fuck about having like too many offspring. He did have offspring. Didn't give a flying fuck about the amount of offspring, where Zeus did.
I
However,
would say it's the switch, isn't it? Because Zeus slept with a shit ton of people. Like,
Odin didn't. But like Odin like never wanted to give a power very similar to Zeus. Zeus
Yeah.
never wanted to give a power.
Look at all that fresh
We're
snow.
finally home.
Look at that. How very
Feels
Midwestern.
like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, it's like a whole video game.
It's a right improvement over having tree bark. in
But
your
Wisconsin. Hey dear, oh dear.
Well, hey there, who there?
Time to rest.
I'm gonna sleep through winter.
Damn straight. It's planned.
It's worth a shot.
I fucking would love to hibernate.
That would be so great.
Would
wouldn't it?
adore to be a bear.
Okay, this'll do.
Agreed, Momir.
Agreed.
Sleep.
Are you just gonna
Way
fall
ahead
asleep
of
with Mimir on your butt?
Props.
Oh, he's just gonna sleep with Mimir on his butt.
Damn straight he is. We're not gonna talk about it. Momir's not gonna talk. Years later.
Years later.
What was that?
The ball.
Essentially, hibernation.
That could be.
I don't know. Who wields lightning? It's not me, is it? No.
And you can not see that little hammer on his statue.
It's not Chris Hemsworth.
No, it's not.
Molnir. Hey, baby. Arrrr. And that's it. That's God of
That's it.
War. We did it.
Boom!
Oh my God, we did it.
Final credits. Yeah!
Hey, I love this fucking game. I loved it as much as I loved it in 2018.
Yeah.
I loved it then, I love it now. This story is absolutely gorgeous. The story is beautiful. The boy is still just as annoying then as it is now. but the story is still just as beautiful. Love it. I love that it gives life to Norse mythology. This
Yeah.
is my heritage. This is my love. This is my life. Oh God, I'm related to the Vikings, and I'm so happy to see all of this come to life. As somebody who has that heritage, it feels very fun and empowering. What do you think?
Oh no, I agree. I think switching to Norse is like I said, always been from what I saw with the previous God of War games, is always like about this match, like, oh, it was Greek mythology.
Yeah.
I'll just play Dante something. But I know it's just it's a refreshing look on the Norse mythology.
It is.
So,
It is. It now obviously
fun.
not accurate.
Music's great.
Music's
great.
beautiful.
If you want to feel epic in the car, just listen to some God of War.
If you want to feel like a badass, listen to God of War. Now, with God of War, obviously this isn't like completely on point to all Norse mythology, obviously, because
creative nuances.
correct. Essentially, they took what they know of Norse mythology and they kind of twisted it a little, just a tad. Freya and Faye are often thought to be the same person, which is why it's very fun to see one dead and one alive. Because Freya, or Frey, was considered Odin's wife and the lover of Odin slash mother to people as such as Loki, Molder, Thor, Modi, and what's the other one? Modi and it starts with an M.
Modi and
Oh my God, sweet Jesus! I want to say Modir, but it's not Modir.
No,
it's
it's
Mode
Modi
something.
and Fodi.
It's
No.
still an M. Modi and something. Freya and Faye are often considered the same person or the same Magni. Often considered the same person, and in Norse mythology, it's hard to find the differentiation between the two of them,
Yeah.
which is a lot of people believe that they are the same person.
Well,
So
the other name is Frigg.
Frigg, yeah, Frey, Fig, Freya.
Yeah.
But essentially the same person. And of a giant. Yes. So it's very fun that they took like a very interesting twist on Loki's origin, because Loki is a relatively interesting origin. Like, he doesn't really have one. So it's very fun that they took Loki, who has like kind of an ambiguous, like,
yeah.
Odin adopted him type
Yeah.
of situation, and took that origin and just kind of took it out of control into whatever this is.
Yeah.
And
Like,
Kratos is a great insert into that.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, Loki, he's always been that, not the anti-hero, that anti-god, where he's the chaotic
Essentially
one,
an
he's the
anti-hero.
one who kind of balances side. Like, there's usually
Yeah.
one in most mythologies, but in the God of War, they're more forcing him as, like, the catalyst. So he's not exactly the bad guy,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't take much to construe him as the bad guy or something, which
Right.
relay the events. So
Right,
it's
right.
interesting how they took on that approach.
Yeah, because like Loki is not the catalyst of Ragnarok.
He is.
He is, but right, because it's Finir and
Technically, Loki is
And
the
Thor.
in the mythology. Loki is the catalyst because he's the one who releases the fire god.
isn't that Finir?
No. So,
Finir.
um,
Because it's the wolf and Thor.
okay, so yeah, so that's during there's like a big battle that happens, but the real reason why Ragnarok happens is because the fire realm was opened up
Hell.
and the
No,
big
Nephilim.
no, not
Sorry,
and a
Nephilim.
big god comes in and he destroys everything with his fire.
Correct.
So that's how Asgard is destroyed. It's not necessarily Loki's hand, but he played the part in releasing
That thing. Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah,
And
because
he-
Fenrir fights Thor, and
Yes.
then that's essentially Thor's death is essentially like the end of the world.
there's only like I think there's
Right?
only a few characters that technically survive Ragnarok because they go into the tree.
Well, I know Thor's not one of them.
No, Thor dies on battle. He dies
'Cause
basically
Fenrir-
as the wolf.
Yeah, Fenrir's the wolf, and
Yeah.
Fenrir kills him, and that's like between that the fire dude and Fenrir. Fenrir kills him, and then like Loki is like essentially the catalyst, which is interesting because they're just taking that and just changing it slightly. So like Loki's still catalyst, but like ever so slightly different with use of Kratos as like kind of the fire person.
They're taking more of the defensive tactic, like Atreus is reacting to what's happening because everybody else is attacking him and saying that he's the bad guy.
Right.
Whereas Loki just kind of like in the mythologies, we're like, man, let's see what happens.
Well, yeah, because Loki literally is the god of chaos.
Yeah.
Literally.
He just bounces.
He just is like, hey ho, hi ho.
And they're
Motherfucker.
You always find one character like that, some mischievous god within each.
There's one within
mythology.
each pantheon, but Loki is probably one of the most pronounced god of chaos.
He's definitely one of the most like known
god of chaos.
publicly or known
Correct.
within.
He's the most
Thank you, Tom.
thanks,
But
Tom.
he's just
He's also one of the more worshipped in like the pagan realm as well, as far as witches are concerned. Like they're one that they recognize, but there is one in each like pantheon. There's one in the Roman, there's one in the Greek, there's one in the Egyptian, there's one in, I'm sure, in the Christian technical pantheon of, because Christianity is considered still a pantheon because God, while is monotheism, like we have saints below him, which it technically is considered demigods.
Right.
If you
right.
looked at a traditional pantheon.
Was Judas forgiven?
And Judas, yes.
So he could technically be one of those anti-heroes.
I think Judas is considered the anti-hero.
Because, not to dive too much into Catholicism, but yeah, he would be the
I
same
know a
thing as
lot.
Loki because
Yes.
he did all this shit, but he was still forgiven.
If you technically, well, Judas is interesting because Judas took his own life, but Judas was forgiven. Because here's why Judas was forgiven. Hello, Catholics. Because Judas was forgiven for his sins because Jesus died on the cross for that sin. Because Jesus died for the sin of him.
Right.
He was forgiven, and instead of like in Christianity, you are, if you commit suicide, if you die in childbirth, or like die as a child before baptism, you are sent to what is in our life.
Wait, are you sent to hell if you die from
purgatory?
No. Let's say if you had complications while
Purgatory. No.
from giving birth,
No.
you will die or you'll go to purgatory?
If you are the child who dies,
Oh, okay.
purgatory.
Okay.
The adult, depends on the life you led.
Okay, because I was like, it makes sense with a child because I know, the
The
whole
child
but
goes
you
to
can.
the child goes to purgatory. The adult either goes to heaven or to hell, according to Catholicism.
Yeah, and then of course within the same scope of Catholicism, you can avoid them going to purgatory if you have a rite of passing,
which
during
is
the funeral.
money.
Right, which is money.
Or so there's two ways you can avoid, or like so. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, so let's pretend Donna, my mother, gave birth to me, but I died while she gave birth to me.
Right.
If she prayed for me and paid her penance, or like paid into the Catholic Church enough times over a significant amount of time, aka like let's say 5 to 10 years, then I would be what's called prayed up from purgatory and then into heaven.
Yep.
Because like according to Catholicism and a lot of Christianity, we are born with what is called original sin.
Yeah.
Technically, Jesus died on the cross for, technically, which we should be forgiven for it, but we aren't, which is like a whole
Which is
other.
why we still need to go to church and confess our sins so that we can be. I think this is where the
stupidity comes in.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of stupidity.
With Catholicism,
Yeah,
there's a lot of stupidity. However, technically, like, if you are not a baptized child and you die before you are baptized, you go to purgatory.
Right.
If you get baptized before you die, then you can go to heaven.
Yep.
Because you are forgiven. Because you have been inaugurated into the church in one way or another. I am, however, talking specifically with Catholicism. I am not talking a whole of Christianity. I'm sorry, I don't know everything about Lutheranism. baptism or
Right, no,
all
this-
of those. I'm talking about specifics with Catholicism, which is
Yes.
what Michaela and I grew up with. So I know my buck, and that buck stops there. But I have, of course, learned about other religions. However, I am
If you
horridly
want, if
curious.
you want, I mean this in the most lighthearted way. If you
Yeah.
want a deep, like, if you want interpretation of like
For
the
sure.
nuances of going to purgatory, just play Dante's Inferno for Catholicism.
Oh, 110%.
Just play that.
Or read Dante's Inferno.
Yeah. If
110%.
Well, yeah. If you have the,
Wherewithal.
the patience, and you have a.
Oh yeah, that book
if you
is
have
hard.
a book that has like citations and descriptions that are.
And is translated into actual English and not Old English.
Yeah, and
You
like,
want to find a newly translated book.
because there are nuances with the translations too, where it can get really funky, and the interpretations can be funky too.
It's
so
garbage.
It's just awesome.
But Dante's Inferno is essentially Catholicism in a nutshell. Yeah. Or if you would like to have that conversation, you know what? Comment down below. Because, like, Michaela or I will answer. And, like, again, we grew up in this religion, so we do know quite a bit about it. But not... I don't know. Religion is ridiculous. And, like, there's nuances into every religion regardless
Yeah.
of which one it is. Whether it's Catholicism, Christianity specifically, whether it's baptism, whether it's Lutheranism. Lutheranism is essentially Catholicism, just a little bit nicer.
More rebellious. They're
Yeah,
sick of,
okay. So you want to know what the difference between Lutheranism and Catholicism is? One's a party, one's fucking not. That's it. That is it. So Luther, who separated from the Catholic Church, also was a schizophrenic. So
Oh,
like,
was he?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I haven't, and this is me blanketing saying that I have not invested the time to.
I have,
research
'cause I
it,
think
but
it's
know
fucking
that
funny.
Initially, it was a rebellion to the fees and fines that the Catholic Church was.
Into like, yes, yeah. So like people used to, so way back when, if you were part of Christianity, Catholicism was the main like Christianity port way back when at one point. So like if you were gonna go commit a murder, let's say, you could go opt to meet with like a priest and be like, hey father, I want to confess for my sins, here's money, will you forgive me for my sins, not only here but in a court of law, because at the time the court of law was dictated by the church.
Right.
So like you could go confess and like pay money and like be like, hey, I'm gonna go kill like X human, like here's money, and they would essentially forgive you.
Yeah. Well,
And,
'cause
like,
they
not
owned
only-
they
They were government.
They were the government.
They were the
so,
government.
Yeah, as long as you paid your dues.
Dues.
You were fucking.
Oh,
fine.
you were chill as shit. So like if I was like a wealthy dude and was like, hey, I hate John, I'm gonna go fucking murder him.
Yeah,
Father-
I have some dark
Father
thoughts about
Mark.
his death.
Yeah, Father Mark, here is some money. I'm gonna go kill Father John John in this way. Here's some money to forgive me. Father Mark would be like, chill. Go kill him. You have my blessing. I will forgive you. And I will testify against that you've been testified to your sins and you've been forgiven for your sins.
Yeah.
So Catholicism, Luther, not Martin Luther King Jr., but Luther, was like, ew, that's gross. But also was schizophrenic. So like he was like, ew, that's gross. Here's 99 reasons, and nailed them to the like the doors of the Vatican, essentially. But like he nailed him to the doors of the Vatican, but like did not stray very far from Catholicism. So he like left the Church of Catholicism, then created his own sub-religion, Lutheranism, okay, which is where Luther came from, right? Lutheranism. However, you want to know the difference between Lutheranism and Catholicism from like basic level, from my understanding.
I was gonna say, I think globally it's just more about the strictness and how they apply their requirements, and that's kind of about it.
Not even though. So like, here's the difference. It comes down to the communion. Not even kidding. It comes down to so Catholicism goes through something called First Communion. We cannot take communion until we go through First Communion, which happens about like For second grade?
Yeah, I was
So-
gonna say 10.
Not even. For second
Oh wait,
grade.
no, that's 3rd grade. So like 8.
8, 7, 8.
Yeah.
So like, right. So in Lutheranism, you kind of go through First Communion / confirmation at like 8th grade level. So like 13, 14. That all happens in one go. With Catholicism, you are confirmed and then you're like essentially an adult in the church. So you have your First Communion and then you're confirmed in the church at like 16, 17.
Right.
It's not the same
But
with
that's
Lutheranism.
not consistent across all churches even. Like,
For
it's all-
Catholicism? For generally.
For in general, I'd say
Generally.
that whatever, because, you know, as an example from me is that, you know, my mother really wanted to focus on us getting confirmed through the Catholic Church, but then it came down to, well, who's gonna do it quicker? So, you know, going to one county provided us the opportunity to get confirmed without having at quite as much like substantial youth group classes or
I don't know how y'all
attendance.
got away with that because y'all did get away with that. But like, I'm gonna
But
tell
it's
you,
just it's not consistent even at
for
a,
Catholicism, pretty consistent. Because like, I had to go through certain level. You did not have to go through what we call CCD, but it was recommended.
Well, I did go through CCD.
Yeah, but you stopped right at some point, right?
We stopped after we got confirmed, or after I got confirmed. I
Right.
was the only one that got confirmed. But and so the requirements to get confirmed through one church was less than another, which is why we hopped.
No, it's all based on the archdiocese.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll have to go back then and see why, because so if we stayed at the church we were initially going to, we wouldn't have been able to get confirmed until maybe like junior, senior of high school.
That's when I
Whereas
got confirmed.
The other church,
That's correct.
I got confirmed freshman year,
Of what?
high school.
Bullshit. Not in Catholic religion. You have to be 16.
I think that's when we got confirmed.
You want to know why I know that? Because you got confirmed before me, and I
Yeah.
was a sophomore, and you were a junior.
Yeah,
So you were 16.
and again, it was because
So you were 16.
okay.
though. So like, you have to be 16 in the Catholic Church,
Oh, okay.
regardless.
All right,
across
then
the
maybe
board.
that was it. But I know that it
You-
required less classes or class attendance and youth group attendance, because that was the big like kicker to it. Is
Mhm.
just you
The
know,
yeah, the
to-
CCD requirement is different from across, but like I can tell you what the archdiocese requires because
Okay,
I
so
was
you
an
have to
older
be
server.
At least 16. to
Yeah, it's
even
age requirements.
broach that, and then from there it's just dictated by the churches. or the
Essentially,
local-
yeah, so it is age requirements. So like I know that because I was an older server and spent a lot of time in the church between the ages of like 8 to 17, 16,
Yeah,
17.
you were far more.
Religious at one point.
Well, no, I would say far more
Active? Yeah.
in the
Yeah, I know.
religious community.
I know a lot about the Catholic Church. It's a little disgusting. In fact, at one point, my mother was approached by the Catholic Church about my knowledge. Did you ever hear about this? Did we tell you?
They
Do you
wanna
know about
conscript
this?
You as a
A nun. Oh yeah. Oh god, I gotta tell this story. So like my brother and I are very competitive human beings. Okay, so
That's
Jared.
an understatement.
Oh yeah, Jared.
Jared, if you're listening to this,
Hi, we
I
love
know
you.
you. I'm calling you out.
Yeah, super competitive. Jared and I are super competitive, specifically with each other, which like super great, super fine. That's chill. But like super competitive. But we used to play like a Catholic Yahtzee game on the computer, essentially to just beat each other out. I know a ridiculous amount about the Bible and the Catholic Church. Like it's insanity.
So it was a Yahtzee style
Catholic game.
question. Okay.
Oh
See,
yeah.
All right, audience. I wasn't this deep.
I think my mom bought it because she was like, we were in CCD and she was like, cool, they're competitive.
cool.
So the Catholic
Our
Archdiocese.
experiences were just polar
Oh, son of a
opposites.
bitch. Yeah, the Archdiocese of Wisconsin of our area, which would have been Milwaukee, approached my mother and asked if Jared and I, at the ripe ages, I had to have been like 9, and Jared's like at least a year and a half older than me, so he had to have been 10, maybe 11. Asked if we wanted to consider nunnery and priesthood at the ripe ages of 9 and 11 because we played this fucking game. So we were ridiculously good at answering questions in CCD because we were ridiculously competitive with each other, even though we were in different CCD classes, right? We would come back and forth at each other and be like, guess what I got right today? Just to be like, I was the better person because Jared and I at that age were stupid competitive. The Archdiocese of Wisconsin in Milwaukee were contacted, which then contacted my mother and father. My father is Jewish, by the way, just so for listeners at home. My mother was contacted, my father was contacted, my mother was like, they contacted her. They pulled her aside after a CCD, and they were like, "Hey, hey, Donna, can we talk?" And we went to the car, and she was like, "Sure." Like, are they in trouble? Did they do something? Are they fighting? Like, what happened? And they were like, "No, none of that. Your daughter and your son are prodigies of the Catholic Church. I'm not kidding. This is a real conversation. Your children are prodigies of the Catholic Church. Could we please invite them, when they graduate and become confirmed to the church, to being a nun and a priest, and you need to talk to them about this now. They need to make a decision." I was 9. I was just a competitive fuck and wanted to beat my brother at Catholic. Yeah, it was a board game on a computer. And my mom was approached by the Archdiocese of Milwaukee if we would become a nun and a fucking priest. I'm not kidding. This is real life.
I'm really not really trying hard to not turn this into a little.
It's funny. Show. It's fucking funny.
That's.
No. You can laugh. It's chill.
That's.
It's hilarious.
That's eye-opening and a little startling that there was that type of communication.
I was 9. They asked me if I wanted to become a nun. I remember that car ride, by the way, very clearly. My mom got in the car and she was like, "Hey, I have a question." And I was like, "Yes, Mom." And she was like, "So, the Catholic Church thinks you're a prodigy." And I'm like, I'm not that smart for that." And she's like, cool. "Do you want to be a nun?" And I was like, no. And to be fair, it was like, what does that mean at the age of 9? Because I really didn't understand what a nun was. And she was like, well, that means, like, you know, you can never do this, and this. And, like, you need to, like, give your life to God. And I was 9. And I was like,
nah.
When do I need to make this choice? And she was like, apparently now.
Oh, God.
And we were like... And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make that choice. I'm 9. And Jared was like, no, I just really like that board game. And I was like, I don't know what it really means to be a nun. So my mom very nicely declined. But yeah, we were considered, Jared, both my brother and I were considered Catholic prodigies. And were heavily watched by the Archdiocese of Milwaukee for a really long time. You're welcome for that information. And we were really, really heavily watched because we both were altar servers. I was an altar server until the ripe age of 17, and Jared was an altar server until the ripe age of, like, 17, 18. So we were, like, super heavily watched. So, like, we were very much considered as, like, the possibility, even up into high school, as, like, still hopeful of becoming a nun and a priest. Even though we were very vocally like, absolutely the hell not. The older and older it got, I was like, no. I like to drink alcohol and I'd like to experience life.
I was gonna say, I have a lot of negative things that are about ready to just spill out, so for this sake, I'm just not going to say anything.
Chill.
In case if nobody understood, I experienced religion and I had a bad experience. For those out there who do find
Comfort with religion?
comfort and with your religion, I'm happy for you.
Cool beans.
I really am. I'm glad that you found an avenue that provides you the
Nice.
love and happiness and, you know, the direction you need in your life. I did not find it, and it has left me unblemished. So I have a very, what's the opposite of rose tinted glasses? I have a very,
Realistic?
I don't think realistic is appropriate because I think there's a lot of cynical and negative nuances to my commentary.
Gray tinted, I guess?
Yeah, but
Because rose colored would be like everything's great and grand, and
right.
gray tinted would
So,
be like green or gray tinted?
Yeah.
Whichever one you want to
But
use
yeah,
there.
I have a very critical perspective of
Religion?
Catholicism specifically.
Yeah, it's fair.
I have a very critical aspect, so I have a lot of things to say which are very kind, so I will hold them.
When I was a child, I would say I was a lot more, not questioning of my religion. However, I went to a very small church. You went to the bigger church. I did not.
Yeah.
And like, a lot of women, especially in Catholicism, have a lot of really bad experiences with Catholicism. And, like, a lot of really bad experiences with that part of our religion. And that's, like, fun and fresh. But, like, I went to an extremely small church in an extremely small
You also
town.
went to like almost culty of all culty.
No, I did not.
No?
No.
I thought that one was, well, that one is,
The one I absolutely the fuck not know.
oh, okay.
We were the most laid-back Catholic church that you could ever fucking go to. We did
Was that
under...
the most prominent, though?
No.
Or the most
The one
influential,
you
I
went
should
to
say?
was.
Well, I was there for a little bit. I couldn't stay there.
The one you went to was, though. We were not. We were considered lazy Catholics.
The father was cool, but everything else of that
Father
was
Dan?
just,
Yeah, no. So, like, you actually were the more prominent Catholic church in our region, in our area. We were not. We were so
I'm
not.
sorry, Kat. I didn't
So the
think you were there.
culty church was the one, I will say the name of the place right now. Will you bleep it out?
Yeah. Or actually just don't. We can talk off.
We'll talk off it, but it's the one over, like, not in the L town, but in the W town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Not
the
off
culty church.
highway?
Not-
Well, you were the one.
On Highway 50 that our friend Kayla went to.
Oh.
That's the
no.
culty church.
Okay. that
Not
makes
Catholic
sense.
at all, Christian.
Okay.
Catholic. There was no culty Catholic churches around us. There was culty Christian churches around us. That was the culty Christian church. Because I
Okay.
worked for a cleaning
You know,
group.
I went to one youth group thing.
Yeah,
That
it was culty as shit. Because
Yeah.
I worked for a cleaning crew that was out of that church.
Also the sketchy ass basement. Again, it was retrofitted to be like,
Super sketchy ass
oh,
basement.
this is a cool like hangout play area.
Yeah.
We have all these games,
Nope.
but
Looking back, culty as fuck. So, like, I worked for them. My first job was a cleaning lady when I was 16, was, like, out of that church. And they judged me because they were all from that church. Every single employee was from that church except for me, who was Catholic at the time, at 16. Still technically Catholic, but, like, more, I am very much more, like, spiritual, I would say, at this point in my life.
Omni. What was it called? Not Omni.
The name of the church, or, like,
Are you talking about what you're actually assigned religiously, or what you feel spiritually, or what you feel like you personally align with? Because there's
I would call
two
myself
distinct-
spiritual.
There's like the legit, like you and I have both been confirmed.
Correct.
That is a confirmative
Oh,
list.
Technically,
Right,
okay, hang
yes.
on. So, like, you and I have been confirmed, so technically we're confirmed in the Catholic Church, and, like,
Yeah.
we are devoting our life, quote-unquote, to the Catholic Church. Where I feel now in my life as a 28-year-old, I feel very spiritual in my life. Not necessarily, like, confined to one religion.
Agnostic. Was that what you kind of align yourself with, being agnostic?
I
Or you think that
guess.
there is a higher being, but you don't know who it is, and
Yeah, I still believe in, like,
you still believe in God?
a god in a sense, but, like, not necessarily, like, there's only, like, a god.
Okay.
Like like the reason why I say that is because like of things like Norse mythology, Native American history, Greek, Romans, and things like that. Like so, like I cannot ignore that the fact that like personally that there is like a god of some sort, but like whether it's a monotheism or a polytheism is like a whole other ball
Right.
game. Personally, as I've just deconstructed my beliefs and like where I am at, I do not believe in one religion. I believe into like the idea of a god, or like I guess a higher power, or like if God exists, like I am more in the thing of like somebody said one time is like um the theory that yes, God is real, but like the idea that God and goddesses of different pantheons are like different like consciousness of one,
Mm-hmm.
which is a very interesting theory and I would love to delve deep into. But like that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay.
Because like I can't ignore like so many different types of people believe in either multiple or one god. So I can't not in my good conscience be like there's no such thing as a god. I just don't know what that means necessarily for me at this point in my life, and I have so many years ahead of me at the age of 28 to deconstruct that and figure out where really I am at with like whether is it monotheism or polytheism. Or like, is it really monotheism and like he has separated himself into polytheism and that's why there's so many pantheons and so many that's not what this is about. So I like to consider myself spiritual and exploring, and the fact of like I like to learn about different types of religions, like different like paganism, and like I like to learn about Judaism, and I love to learn about the Big Five and like other things as well because it's all very fascinating to me personally as a human.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah, you and I are very, very, very similar on that ground.
We, however, are married to atheists.
Yes, and that's I was actually gonna bring up that point is that I think if we're gonna put a term on me, is I'm definitely I guess closer to agnostic where I don't have.
Atreus, are you ready?
We
I had
beat
the
the
weirdest
credits.
dream.
Yeah, no, I was waiting for
Remember when
this.
it was ending,
Um.
and Thor came for us here at the house,
It was only a dream.
but it felt different. It felt real. It felt like the future.
Then we will worry about it tomorrow. Today,
What
there
a
are
concept.
still things we can do.
Essentially, it's letting me explore further.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, there's like so much to break down. Like, I know a ton about Catholicism and like in general, a lot of religions. But like, yes, you and I went from Catholicism. You broke into like, I would say agnostic
Well-
ideologies quicker than I did.
Yeah. And again, that's all down to just because
Experiences in life
experiences in itself, regardless of what what a religion can provide. If it's not provided in a way that's comforting or useful in the local area, it can substantially affect you. So
Correct.
yeah, I mean, religion can bring such a sense of community, but because of humans are, it can also be very isolating. It can be
Correct.
very
Yeah.
awful.
That's why I've always been a proprietor of like, if it's not hurting anybody else, why do I give a shit? If it's not hurting you, if you're not hurting yourself, if it's not hurting anybody else, and that's what you believe, fantastic. Amazing. I'm so excited for you. And I do not mean that sarcastically at all. Like, I quite literally mean that. Like, if you believe in a certain thing, please tell me all about it. I would love to hear because, like,
it's defining to who you are as a person.
Correct.
And if it's that important, then hell yeah.
yes.
But if you're a fucking asshole about it, nah.
fuck off. Like, I don't like to talk about a religion a lot because I am not a proprietor of shoving down what I believe down somebody else's throat because that's not my job, nor is it my responsibility.
Right.
Like,
it's not your.
It's not
someone's journey.
fuck no. Like, it's absolutely not my. It's not my path. It's not my life. And like, amazing if you think it's yours, but shut the fuck up and stick that shoe in your throat, okay? Like, it's not. Because like different religions believe in different things. Like, for example, like we, like as confirmed Catholics, technically we need to believe in a hell.
But even then, it's questionable Bible too, like the dictation of whether or not
Well, like,
hell
so
is
any different, right? So like, there's like technically a passage where like God says like, I am light and I am darkness, and like I am heaven and I am hell. Right. But like we like as Catholics like to ignore that part of the Bible, and we as Christians in general like to ignore that part of the Bible. Like if you would like to learn more, like look into that phrase. Like I am light and I am hell. And you will find it. It's like Isaiah something. I don't know the exact passage, but like essentially God says like he is God and he is hell. Like
Right.
I am
He's
heaven.
everything.
I could be your heaven and I could be your hell, which is why I am like in the whole like camp that like this man has to be bored as fuck. And like cannot just be monotheism, polytheism. That's why I believe everything is like relates back to one personally. Not necessarily like maybe the God I believe in, but like could be the God you believe in. Because like what I believe and what you believe and what they believe is slightly different, but like doesn't mean it doesn't result into the back thing. Like so let's say I am a pagan, you are Catholic, and let's say Jack is Judish, like Jewish, right? And believes in Judaism. Like technically you worship a deity, I worship a deity, they worship a deity, still a deity. That's why I am agnostic, but I do think it's funny that we both married atheists.
Oh yeah, there's an active, like, again, I had bad experiences, but it's not enough for me to just proactively say that there is no God, because I have no grounding for that. But yeah, it's interesting.
I have no
how
way
we
to say
have
no. Yeah.
Two people that are like, no, there is no God.
I think it's funny because your husband is way more than like that than mine. Like mine is way more evolutionist, scientific based, and I like to say like
yeah, my husband is more reactionary based
Yeah.
on experiences.
yeah. So like Dakota like for sure never really went to church, so like he is very much science based. And so like I like to think that like science and evolution is like a hand in hand with religion, but like based on like the type of religion you grew up with is based on how you believe that. I like to believe they're hand in hand because like that makes
because science is science.
so much sense, which is like also why like I think paganism, aka magic, in that aspect, and like Christianity, religion, how we view it now, and like science is kind of all in the same thing. Because it all is.
Some
if you break it down to like the basic level.
mythologies and religions have more
Very similar
connections to scientific rationale than others.
Correct. Yeah, it depends on the religion you believe. That is super correct, or like what you know. But like again, this is definitely a conversation, and God of War is definitely an interesting conversation of like breaking down your religion and like what you believe, and like looking at different pantheons and stuff like that, which I do think is fantastic, which essentially brings us back to the game of like, while it is a very artistic interpretation of Loki's story, but it isn't an incorrect interpretation of Loki's story because Loki's origin is relatively unknown.
Yeah.
So could it be related? 110%. Which brings us full circle.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting that we can make that connection of like, yes, this is a video game. Yes, this is like a story that somebody created out of their brain and brought to us. But like, again, like because Loki's story is relatively like kind of like question mark, like you could technically be like, sure, Kratos existed. Sure, this is what happened. Sure, this is real life.
Well, and to bounce off of that comment is, religion is a compilation of stories.
Just like any lore or legend.
Any mythology. A mythology is a religion that has died.
Correct. That's why Christianity is considered a pantheon, which is not what a lot of Christians like to like admit, but just like Greek pantheon, Roman pantheon, Norse pantheon, Celtic pantheon, Egyptian pantheon, Christianity pantheon. While it's a monotheism pantheon, there is still a god with, technically, if you want to consider angels as demigods, they technically fall under that category.
It's
still correct. A pantheon.
Religions,
it's still very similar to the rest of the pantheons.
Mythologies, these are stories that have been compiled to teach us humans how to live and what to work
Yep.
through.
Yep.
They're all the same. It's not meant to.
Yes.
It's all meant to be interpreted in its own way or how
Correct.
you interpret it.
Which is super fantastic, and which makes like this video a super open concept and a super open conversation. Like, so down in the comments below, tell us what you think.
Yeah.
And like, let's have that conversation. Now, comments down below. Open, happy, healthy conversation.
Yeah,
Don't be an asshole. If you're an asshole, you're being blocked. I'm just gonna tell you right now. We're a very small channel. I will block your ass. Okay? If you're a fucking dick, you're out of here. You've been warned.
You've been warned.
You've been warned. I just as much Michaela have been. We can see both. We both have access to this shit. If you're an asshole and I think you're being a dick bag, you're out of here. Toodaloo, motherfucker. Anyway, that's it. That's it. That's it for God. That's it for this God of War. Next time you see us,
we'll be playing Ragnarok.
We're gonna be playing Ragnarok.
We'll be playing Ragnarok, baby.
I'm excited! Yay! And then we can continue to have this conversation. How I was a prodigy considered by the Catholic Church. Anyway, that's a
that's a
whole
whole other thing we need to unpack.
Chill.
Because there's just so many nuances to that of.
Yeah.
I need to think on that just because that's just something I didn't think about. Scouting. Never thought about the nuances of what they did to scout.
Hi. I was scouted by the Catholic Church. Anyway, thank you so much for watching us here at Kids Gaming. I'm Nun Rachel.
Nun Rachel.
JK. LOL. I am nowhere near a nun. Thank you so much for watching us here at Kids Gaming. I am legitimately just Rachel.
I'm just Michaela.
Scouted by the Catholic Church. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for coming along this journey with Boy and Kratos.
Yeah.
We will continue this into Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Adios, amigos.
Bye.
Bye.